How to sell yourself. Me, I'm worth this. Come on, baby. Give me the cash. Actually, today we're going to do something a little bit different. You're used to me giving you examples, teaching you step by step. But from now, I think you pretty much know how to think for yourself, and we're going to start exercising that. So today, you're going to come up with how you're going to sell yourself, right? But before that, I also want to emphasize scrubbing all of your social media and preparing for whatever comes, okay? Because, I want you to treat this as if you're applying for the CIA. And if you're going to apply for the CIA, you better make sure you're not talking about bombs on Twitter. You better make sure that all of your neighbors, your ex-girlfriends or whatever, they're all going to say great things to you or about you. You want to make sure that if they go on your Facebook, you're not talking about, hey, I just had a threesome or whatever. Maybe the CIA would like that. I don't know. But here's the thing. I want you to scrub your social media and look at it. And, if you were an employer, would you want them to see this? Would you want them to be like, man, I just went to a Jack in the Box and I took a dump in front of their store as a prank? Probably not a good idea. Scrub that social media clean. Because we want to do as much prep and put our best foot through that front door. I want you to stay who you are. I mean, you are you, but I want you to also increase your chances. So we're doing a lot of pre-thinking, because what I want you to avoid is after you do the interview, after you make the first impression, then they figure out some shit and you're like, oh my God, I forgot about this shit. Because first impressions are a lot. Like, how you impact a person in the very beginning, or it doesn't even have to be the first time, but the second time or whatever. Like, the very first read that they get off of you is really, really important. Because, for example, I have friends who I think are just late all the time, even though they are on time now. But the way I met them is they're always fucking late. And this might have been years ago, right? And they're always fucking late for that whole month. So 3-4 years, I haven't given up on that. I always roast them like, oh, you're late again, even though they're always on time. So this is what I call branding, right? You get branded a certain way. And same with companies and businesses. You have a brand, you have an image, you have a reputation, you have the way that the whole world kind of looks at you. And it sucks because you don't want to look at human beings for their small little mistakes, actions, the way they dress, the way they look. But we're all human and we all use mental shortcuts. We can either resist that and say fuck society and fuck simple thinking, or we can embrace that and go, okay, we do this, we all do this. Some of you might be saying, no, I don't. I look at the individual for the way they are in their heart. But if there was some guy with 3 teeth walking down the street and it's shirt off, tattoos all over, looking like he's talking to himself, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be like, you know what? I'm going to give this man a chance. You're going to walk across the street because you're afraid that this 3-tooth crackhead is going to bite you. And we all do that because we go, oh, danger, we got to get away, right? It is a natural human instinct to make sure that we survive. We are primitive beings and we have these mental shortcuts and we have to fight them. But if you can understand them, then you know how to win within these rules and the way that people think. So for example, let's say you're trying to become a car salesman or whatever, right? And let's say you're really into metal. You're not going to go into the job interview with your chains and your straight leather and all that, it doesn't make any sense, right? Of course, you have your individuality, you have your personality, and people are going to be like judging you, and they shouldn't, because they should look at your inside. But this is a job, and what you're doing is you have to be a part of their culture. If you're trying to sign up to a company is its own subgenre, it's its own style, right? If you're into metal and these guys are into hip hop, they're not gonna hire you because you're not of the same tribe. You gotta see it like that. So when you're stepping into their world, they want you to wear their uniforms, their face paint, their thought, their tribe. That's how you got to see it. Companies are the same things as different music groups, subgenres, like different types of groups and communities. That's all it is. And they all have their own way of thinking, their own culture, their own way of dressing, they have uniforms, all that stuff, right? So if you're coming in trying to impose your own rights, like, hey man, I got blue hair, I don't understand why you can't hire me, and it's like, my organization is this and that. Now I know that there's legal matters, right? Like there's religion, they can't tell you to like do things that's violating your religious beliefs or whatever, or your sexual preferences. There's still discrimination. There's laws against that. But what I'm talking about are the extremes, right? Like I used to be a bald-headed, thug-looking boy, and I would go into supermarkets and I'm like, hey, you got any applications? I would go into anywhere and everywhere to get an application. A lot of people would deny me, and I'm all like, man, why the fuck are they judging me for the way that I look? And it's like, well, first of all, I look like I might steal something from the back room. I look like I might embezzle some shit. They're scared. And that's just human nature. They shouldn't do that because I was going to work hard and I was going to, pretty much give them my best. But at the same time, I could have fought with a customer and punched them out. I could have done a lot of different things. And I know that we're getting to a touchy place because obviously we live in a world that has racism. We live in a world where a lot of people don't get access and all this stuff because we're treated the way that we are, from stigma, from stereotype, from whatever, and we don't get jobs. And maybe I was discriminated, but at the same time, I didn't do my job of educating myself and going, maybe if I'm asking for an application, I should change the way I speak. I should change the way I dress because I'm walking into their world and they want me to do a good job the way that their tribe needs it. And when I get home, I'm going to be a thug at night. But in the day, I'm going to be a good boy so I could get a job, right? If you hold on to that pride and if you hold on to your ways, what's going to end up happening is you're going to decrease your chances of success. So for some people, they see this as selling out. For other people, they see it as I got to do what I got to do so I can eat. So what is it going to be for you? Do you want to be the person who's like, okay, well, I have my pride, and you know what? I got to keep my mohawk. I got to keep my gauges. I got to keep that. Well, if that's the case, then maybe, you can't get a job at the Christian bookstore, Maybe that's not the place for you. Maybe for you, working at the tattoo shop or whatever goes with that culture is much, much better. And when I say culture, I'm talking about like subcultures too. I'm not saying like you can't fit in of different races or whatever. That's not what I'm saying because like I said again, there are laws and regulations of this stuff and they shouldn't violate those laws. But as much as you can, when you're applying for a company, you're trying to show them that, hey, I'm really close to your tribe. I believe in what you believe in. Let me come in and let me contribute. Because the last thing they want is someone to come in and disrupt. And that's what they're looking for, is someone who won't take too much time to train. They have average intelligence, they're disciplined, they can be on time, they're really nice, they work with the team well. And that's what most companies are looking for. They're not looking for someone who's too headstrong. And I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there who are very, very intelligent, but very, very socially stubborn. So they get hired for their skills, but they get fired for their behavior. This happens a lot where it's like you have such an impressive resume. Your resume is so strong. You are so intelligent, whatever. And then they come in and everyone hates working with them because they're so mean. They're always upset. They don't know how to get along and work with others. And then they create such a weird vibe. Some people might have a chip on their shoulder and go, well, this shouldn't happen because, people should be able to just clock in and clock out. But working at a company is more than that. Working with a team is more than just contributing your skills and learning. It's really about being harmonious with the people around you. So when you're selling yourself, all you're trying to do is be yourself, but show them authentically who I am will be a great piece to this big puzzle. Like, I'll fit in really, really well because naturally I care about the company's mission. So when you get down to these meetings or when you're going face to face, the thing that I want you to really focus on is how you fit in with them, how you can contribute, how you're a vital role and you can help out, and why you care about their mission so much. So with those things, I want you to write down how you're going to sell yourself. How are you someone that can fit into this whole program? And I want you to think about it. That's why I wanted you to come up with your list of priorities, which businesses, because every single one of these businesses will have a different mission. And the way you research that is you go on their company website and you look for their mission statement, you look for what they're passionate about, you look for what they're trying to achieve, their objective. And this is how you can show that you're a part of this and you can help them reach that goal. No one ever does this. Everyone just comes out with a resume. Hey, look, this is the kind of stuff that I can do. I'm qualified. What do you need me for? But a lot of people don't go into a company and say, hey, I know the company goal here is to reach as many poor people in the United States and help them learn financial education. I know what this is all about. I'm passionate about this. And why are you passionate? You go, well, I was raised in a family that did not learn financial education. So I was burdened with my parents who were ignorant and they didn't understand that. And so I made a mission for myself to learn this and also teach people that are poor because I don't want them to grow up the way I grew up. So I'm very passionate about your mission and I want to be a part of this team because I think I have a lot to give. Here are my qualifications. So you always start with their goals. You sell yourself. You say, this is why I'm so vital to this team and I care about it so much because of my story. And then you say, here's my resume. These are the things that I can do. Maybe you can find a place for me that can fit in your company. It's that simple. Go ahead and write your own script of how you're going to put that together. And then I'll show you how to interview and all that stuff later. But go ahead and do that today.